How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Today we have got the episode you've been waiting for, the 900 and 1000 ELO breakthrough, and I'm just going to show you them. We've just got the two simple games, what got me through 900 and then what got me through 1000. And yeah, without a doubt, let's just jump straight into it, because you came here for chess is that side, you came here for chess, that's what we're here for. So let's go. Immediately, start off with e4, e5. You didn't see that elo bar, that doesn't matter. Anyway, very simple game. It continues into a Vienna game with a few inaccuracies to follow up. I don't take the pawn in the centre, which probably would have been the best idea. You know, forcing his knight back, taking here, putting pressure on his knight. If he takes, so I'll show you that way down. This is what you would do in this position. So take. If he gets greedy and takes, you immediately fork the pieces in the centre. It's a lovely wee tactic. Most common move, if I'm not mistaken, they would drop back and then you would take. The top computer move is knight takes c4, so you get a bishop trade there in the centre. Then you can't you can't exactly castle. But anyway, it continues on. That's what I should have done, but obviously I'm 900 rating. That's not what happened. We get the knight out, developing as normal, push our pawn in the centre, which is a great move. It's defended twice, it's only attacked twice. Show you why that's a great move, because bishop has to fall back. Bishop falls back, we get time to castle, releasing that pin that the bishop puts onto our king. So what happens then is exactly that. Exactly that. The great move ends up coming off, and that's how you need to capitalise and make the most of your moves. And especially if you make one great move, okay, that's fine, but if you're not following it up with the better sequence, it doesn't mean anything. You can make a great move, then make a blunder straight after, and all your advantage just disappears. So he takes, immediately damaging our pawn structure. He then takes in the middle again. Here my best move probably would have been slide the queen over, pinning it, or else it could have also possibly here the computer is saying d5. It's not necessarily a pin, but it's putting pressure, so then computer recommends knight to e7, so it wants him to jump here, and game continues on with d4, getting our pieces up, knight f6, knight f6 there. It continues on. We have this massive advantage in the middle. All our pieces are out, but they can easily become targets, easily be used as targets. So back to actually what happened. We took the pawn, advancing our bishop out. Now we got this big nice kind of square here in the middle. He castles, tries to get his king to safety, which doesn't last too long, and you'll see why, because this is a very weird checkmate, if I'm not mistaken. So he immediately blunders. He puts pressure on the queen. You wouldn't think that's a blunder. It's a free pawn after all, is it not? We'll see. Here, my best move would have been queen e1. Take the open file, put pressure here, so if he decides to take, then there you go, we just win the knight. If he then decides to move the knight, excuse me, if he decides to move the knight, which he can, he can retreat backwards. It just grows our advantage. We get a pin, which, okay, according to, you can't see the ELO, but it just skyrockets. See, this is why I'm not a pro. I immediately, my idea would be this. Oh, yes, we get a wee fork there, which is nice. But what it recommends is bishop takes h7. No, oh, it wants this, king g8, queen h4, and yeah, you're setting up a checkmate up here. So you are, which is that unstoppable? No, it's not necessarily unstoppable. See, there are wee tactics, the Greek sacrifice. So it is. Which isn't, it's not bad. These are things that you need to see, but being 900 rating, I didn't see that. So, game continues, me putting pressure on his knight, him just completely ignoring, thinking that he can't save his knight at all. He must have seen this tactic. He must have. Apparently it's a mistake. That's what Stockfish says, but well. So we capitalise and get a great move. Fantastic. Cannot complain about that one exclamation mark that we see. Put pressure on his knight, forcing it all the way back into the corner. Bring our rooks to the centre. He makes a very simple pawn move, opening up his bishop to go along to a couple of squares. We can't necessarily go there, but we make one advancing move with our queen, and then we take the rook. Now again, another great move. That's 3 great moves already, which is crazy. Come on, 3 great moves, okay, already in 16? That's crazy. So immediately put pressure and back onto his queen, defended by our knight. So it is brilliant, setting up like a wee backwards cannon. Pop our queen into the centre, setting up a checkmate. Now this would be, say for example, he played a lazy move. He done something like this. It would be boom, boom, boom. Okay, hold on, that's not checkmate. Why is that not checkmate? Because he can block with the knight. But again, we're in a massive advantage. Take, and then you've just got things going on there. What would have been the checkmate in that position? I say he made a simple move like that, mate in 2. Yeah, then it's this, and this, and that's mate, because the bishop blocks his escape square. So again, that could have went sideways very quickly. So he advances his queen out. Try to get a bit of movement, bit more flexibility, giving us a check here in this long range check. We just slide our king over, defend the rook in the centre. He just hangs the pawn. Clean hanging of a pawn. Probably trying to make more room, or as you've seen here, he pushes pawn, then they just jump his pawn forward again. But that's not good enough, because we give him a check, allowing his king in forward to our bishop. Now here, a wee checkmate in 2 sequence is check, king takes bishop, and mate. It's lovely, nice mate on the corner of the board. Queen's cutting off the H file. Knight is cutting off his escape, and the rook, well, the rook's just put him into that position as the queen already covers these squares. But that doesn't happen. Of course it doesn't happen. It's 900 ELO chess. And we give him a check with the knight, allowing him to take the bishop. And we give him another check with the knight, allowing him to escape forward. Now here, what a good sequence would have been check. King has to move down, and mate. So another mate in 2. But I didn't see it. No, of course I didn't see it, and I took the long way around. I give him a check, allowing him to push his king a wee bit forward. But his king is so out in the open, so exposed. We give him that check that we should have given him in the last move, and it allows him to move into the centre even more. He moves down. We give him another check with the queen on the outside of the H file. He moves slap bang dead in the centre. Now if we move our bishop, that is a discovered check, and it's exactly what we do. We give him a double check with the bishop and the rook, so he can't even take, he has to move. So he moves, takes our pawn in the centre. We then snatch up his pawn, exposing this major threat here. So we have several ways defending this. He could go queen b4, defending the mate. He could go queen c7, defending the mate. But instead he goes into this empty space. For some reason, there's no pawn there. He had no reason to go there, and we finish it off with a lovely checkmate slap bang in the middle of the board. Puts us up to 904 rating. How can you complain? How can you complain? Yeah, probably could have got the checkmate in 2, 3 times. And there's probably loads of other sequences there. I did kind of throw the advantage a wee bit, but he gave it right back to us. That's the joys of low ELO chess. It's a lot more complicated than if you watched the previous couple of games, because they were just completely different. Complete different spectrum of the chess realm. Like, it's crazy. So that's how we got into the 900 rating, and now we're going to move on to the 1000 game. This game got me up to 1006 rating. The 900 rating game took place on the 6th of July. I then passed 1000 on the 15th of August. Now, that's just under a month to get 100 rating. Now obviously that 100 rating is a lot harder to get than the previous ones, because it's a lot higher ELO, it's a lot more competitive, and people are just the smarter, they understand the game a lot more. We were hovering around 1,000, like very close. We may have peaked into it a wee bit, but it was for about a game, and then we dropped back down. After this game, it was just up, up, up. We kept climbing and we stayed above it. So we did. I will say, in this 900 rating game, my estimated ELO from chess.com is 1,000. So I'm 100 ratings above what it thinks I am. Excuse me, I do apologise. So, moving on, we have black pieces in this game. Oh, you couldn't ask for any better. And what's better than getting the black pieces? Being able to play the Caro-Kann. Aha, it's brilliant. And what's my favourite Caro-Kann? The advanced variation. Here we go. We know what to do in this position. Getting our knights out. Getting everything developed. Taking the pawn in the centre. Pinning his knight to his queen. He then pins our knight to our king. Put pressure on his bishop. He takes it. We then connect our pawns in the centre, giving us this cannon down here. We take the knight. Now, the reason we take the knight and trade in our light squared bishop is because most of our pawns are going to be on light squares. All of our pawns but one are going to be in light squares after one move. And that's exactly what happens. There we go. All but one. So it just complements our dark squared bishop. It doesn't cancel out his, because he is a dark squared bishop. He traded in his light one. So we just got to figure that out. So putting pressure, pinning his knight, he castles, unpinning his knight. We then continue to develop our knight, get it into the middle of the board just after he is attacking our bishop. So we kind of maneuver, get it out of the way. He hangs a pawn in the centre. And this is a very, very big blind spot that you need to be aware of, are the pawns in the centre with pieces connected to them. People just think they're defended, but they're not. And we cut open the place like butter. It's ridiculous. And what, you cannot ask for much better than this position. Come on. Now, yes, this is quite a big weakness here at the moment, which he does exploit. He immediately snatched up with a rook, playing the best move. We castle, get ourselves to safety. He doubles up his rooks. Okay, not a bad move, you know, why wouldn't you? You have no reason not to. We want to connect up our queen here, want to go for the battery. We can initiate a trade, and then we win tempo, putting it onto his rook. If he doesn't trade and he retreats, we can checkmate on, or very close to checkmate on the square. So, continues on, he doesn't want to trade, he goes back, so we go for that checkmate. Now it would be a checkmate. So it would be, let's say, play a simple move like here. It would be check, scoot over, mate. Simple as that. But that doesn't happen. He sees it as, you know, as his higher ELO chess. So he gets a great move himself by attacking our queen and protecting himself from mate. Okay, yeah, great move, sure. One pawn push. Understandable. So we play an excellent move, which is what chess.com has given us. Not the best move. The best move would have been queen f5, dropping back one. But, well, it is what it is. We initiate that trade in the middle. Now this is where it gets interesting. I love this part. I remember this game so vividly. So now that his rooks are disconnected, they're not defending each other and ours are, we can try to take control of that open file, or soon to be open file. So he then reconnects his rooks, but in doing that there, we just trade anyway. Yes, his rook comes down and he's very close to being on our rank, but look what happens. How's he meant to defend these pawns? He can take, well, he can't take because then he gets taken. Terrible move. He can't defend it with a knight in any way, so he can't. Like, there's nowhere he can go here to defend it with a knight. Can't defend it with a rook. So he pushes the pawn to try to save it. In doing that, he weakens his other pawn. He takes ours, we take his. He falls back, gives us a check. We just tip up there into the corner away to safety. Now, I believe in this position, he could have created a draw by repetition. Or very close to it. Could be mistaken. But anyway, we attack his pawn from behind. He just keeps advancing. We cut off the next square to which he maneuvers in, and we give him a check. He jumps down with his king, which is a bad move. Why is that a bad move? Because we then pin his pawn, so he can't advance that pawn. He pushes his king forward, and we snatch up the pawn. So our opponent here, Hamzan Bien, or Hamza, has major blind spots for pawns. So he does in defending them, which you gotta figure out your opponent's weakness and make the most of it. Do apologise if I'm quite stuffy. My nose is playing up a wee bit. So that looks like a very strange move. It does, and it kind of is. It's a miss. Now the reason it's a miss is because f5. F5 kind of keeps it even. It would have been king h3, forcing him to retreat. Rook b2, attacking his knight. Knight c7, and it's just a lot more maneuvering. So there would have been. Here we go, maneuvering, checking each other. We have this big pawn advantage over here. Just need to stop this pawn and this pawn, and there's not really much threat that we have with equal material and everything. But instead, he pushes his pawn, and we sacrifice the bishop. Or do we sacrifice the bishop? He takes back with a knight. We give him a check, and we win back momentum. And in doing so, his king falls back. We pin his knight to his rook. Now he can't move his knight. If he moves his knight, he loses his rook. So we start the pawn avalanche to just get going. Now yes, it has given me a mistake. It's saying rook a1 would have been better. Stockfish, go screw yourself. I don't really care, because he's trying to get in. He's trying to maneuver his way around or inside here, but we don't allow that. We cut him off with the rook. Completely cutting off this file. Nope, not there. Completely cutting off this column, the fourth column, or is it row? Column, file? It's one of them. So anyway, he has absolutely zero way of getting in. He's going over, trying to get our rook, but that's not good enough because we start the pawn avalanche. He takes, we take back. Now we have 3 potentially connected pawns. One of them is a passer. He is just going to fly. So his king falls back, trying to get in front of it to take. We bring our king forward, because if you have pawns in an endgame, lead with the front. The king should be in front, leading the way, and that's exactly what we try to do. We give him a check, forcing him back even more because he can't progress forward. So he can't, this is all cut off from him. So he needs to fall back to the next file, and he hasn't had a chance to even move his knight and sacrifice his bishop. He hasn't had a chance to move his rook. If he moves his rook, he loses his knight, and we're just up so much material at that point. We bring our king forward, trying to slide him in between everything. We snatch up his pawn, and in snatching up his pawn, we have a major advantage of 3 connected passed pawns, and they just get going. Oh, look at this. Now, where can his king go? It can only go sideways. So we've created a mating net. Pawn blocks here, 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 and here. So for his king to get out, he would need to go here. We make a simple move, and he's out. Well, he's kind of out. He's kind of out. But he gets desperate. We'll go back. Our opponent, Hamza, gets desperate, realising how close he is to mate. He sacrifices his knight. But in doing so, can you see it? Because I did. If you want to pass 1,000, you're going to need to see it. Mating 1. Oh, can you ask for much better? Lovely mating 1 with the rook and the pawns all just avalanching onto his king with nowhere to go. He is just sniped dead in the water. He has nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to block him, and he's on his own. This is where you gotta not get greedy. So if I tuck his knight, he takes here. It just makes it so much more complicated for me. But go what? King g4, attacking his rook. His rook goes to c3, just, maintain a pressure. We start to try pushing our pawns down, give him well, it's his turn now. His king tries to escape, we then just push and push and push. But again, yeah, I know that wasn't necessarily a great move. Again, I'm just so glad you can't see the ELO bar. But I'm telling you should be able to see the evaluation bar over here on the side, because it's like Rocky Mountains. It is up, it is down, and then it is just down because black took the lead. Now in this game, I remember this game quite vividly, even though it was quite a while ago. Well, I say quite a while ago. It was last month. Halfway through last month, I passed 1,000. Now, I have been taking it a lot easier on chess. I haven't been playing as much, been recording a wee bit more, and going back over my previous games. Going forward, we're going to see a lot more games of me in the 1,000 range. I played a game today, and chess.com estimated me at like 1550. Like, goddamn, in this game, I was estimated at 1350. So you can only imagine what that other game was like. It was crazy. But anyway, guys, that has been how I broke through 900 ELO. This is what the game finished on. And 1,000 ELO. There's a big difference there. A big difference there. So there is. Anyway, guys, very much appreciate you for tuning in. Please slap that like button. Leave a comment what you would have done in certain positions. If there's any tactics that I've missed that you've seen, even leave a comment with your ELO. Add me on chess.com, we'll get a game, and who knows, I may even make a video out of it. It could be fun to do. And I just want to say a big thank you to all subscribers. We've hit over 1,000. All my subscribers from the United States, from India especially. I hope you can understand me is the biggest thing. But thank you all so much for hitting 1,000. I really couldn't ask for more. I didn't think I'd ever get to that stage. It's just been such a crazy growth, and yeah, something I never ever expected to happen. Chess is a very timeless game. There's so much to learn, so much to do, and I just hope that you enjoy it with me, and you stay with me for the ride. Laugh at my pain. That's the biggest thing. I think I'm going to start a series called Laugh at My Pain, because there is so much pain in chess. And you don't want to laugh at your own, so I may as well laugh with you at my own. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.